Hello, hello, hello. Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but more specifically here in Alaska. As a matter of fact, I'm in the very, very far north of Alaska in a tiny little village where I teach during the school year. When I'm not at school teaching, then I do go back down near Anchorage. I'm not in Anchorage, I'm in Palmer. But I do live in Alaska most of the year, except when I go to see siblings down in the lower 48 or whatever, other trips or cruise. I love to cruise. But I have not done a video in a while, partly because I have had camera troubles. I won't go into it, but oh my goodness, you just can't buy cameras anymore. You have to use your phone. And really, trying to do a video on a DSLR is just almost impossible, at least the kind of videos that I do like this. So enough of all of that. I am using my phone. I have figured out a little bit better how to do it. I tried to do a live, but it wouldn't do that. So here we are. We are going to go. This is information stampinwithpatricia.com, which I'm actually going to show you. So this is the page. I often have people ask me, let me move this down a little bit so you can see. You're Stampin' with Patricia. But this is the home page. Okay, so if you look over here, you can see that it's the home page. And if I scroll down just a little bit, here's the host code. And you'll always know that it's the current month because I will put the month. So here in a few days, it'll be November. I'll put November's host code on there. And the reason you want to use this host code is because if you use it, then at the end of the month or whenever, sort of when I decide to do it, I will close this show and I will do a drawing, and whoever, it does not matter how much you've spent, but whoever wins the host for that month gets to get the host benefits. So there's that for you. It's stampinwithpatricia.com. I also have stampinwithpatricia.stampinup.net if you want to go just to purchase. Okay, but you can also go to Stampin' with Patricia and get that link. It's actually, if you scroll down just a little bit, shop right there. Or you can go up to the top where it says shop. Imagine that. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that for a minute. All right, so stampinwithpatricia.stampinup.net, the October host code MSBU7W, that's a terrible W, 9Y. Okay, if it's beyond October 23rd, then just go to, October of 23, then just go to stampinwithpatricia.com. Hello, I didn't mean to move that. I'll put it back over here so you can see it. Okay, a couple of things real quick. First of all, this is like the opportunity, bar none. This is such a good deal. If you need supplies, this is what you need to do. Yes, I love having customers. Customers are wonderful, blah, blah, blah. However, why would you not do this deal is what I want to know. It's either 35% off of the $99, which I believe is something like $68.75 or whatever, and you still get to choose $125 worth of product. Okay, that's an option. The other option is to get 35% more product, which is something like $168. Again, go to that website that I just showed you, stampinwithpatricia.com, and it'll give you the actual figures. But this is $168 worth of product for $99. Who wouldn't do this? It's just amazing. What do I expect of you after you get your kit? Truthfully, I don't require anything of you. If all you want to do is buy your kit and go on your merry way. Yes, I would love to have you stay. Yes, I would love to have you continue to order. But you know what? If you can't, you can't. And I get it, okay? But I would love to have you join my team. What do you get when you join my team? You get all of the, admittedly, I haven't been doing videos, but you get all of the videos. There will be some private videos, and some other things. And we'll talk more about that in a totally separate video. I'll do that here in the next day or so. One of the other benefits you get by being a demonstrator is you get to order everything before anybody else gets to order anything. It's about 2 weeks-ish right now before anybody else can order these, and I've already got mine. I'm going to show you these in just a minute. But we are going to look at this kit right here, and actually what we're going to do on this one is we're just going to look at the designer series paper. We're not even going to do anything with the stamp and die bundle yet. Now I'll show you some things on that and suggestions that I have for it. But right now, all we're going to do is look at this designer series paper. So let's get in that and look at it. This is that designer series paper. It is probably one of the most gorgeous papers we have had in a long time. You get 4 sheets of, I don't even know how many, but this is the front, the back. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Some of these, you just want to frame them. Look at that. I mean, it's called I think it's Meandering Meadow. Where's the paper? Here it is. Yeah, Meandering Meadows, excuse me, plural. So this one, and then the back, gorgeous. This one, I love this one. This one has lots of room for stamping. Just gorgeous. And the back of it, of course. Beautiful. This one. Oh, that is, did I skip one? No, I just only had, oh, I didn't pull this one out when I was doing my, okay, this one and the back. Gorgeous. Okay. Well, come on. This one, look at, I just cannot, they're just so beautiful. This one and the back. This one and the back. Love this. I sort of wish these flowers were a little more purpley, but even so, we use this one. I love it. That's just so beautiful. This one, I think I used this one too. The back. This, can you tell I really love these papers? I'm being a little silly, but look at the clouds. Just, so much color and gorgeous and depth. And okay, enough. There and there. Now, here's what I want to show you on all of these papers. If you look on the back page right here, there's the name of it, the description, but below that, it lists all the colors, I should say most all of the colors that are in this paper series. Now, the reason I say that, designer series paper, the reason I say that is because what I suggest if you want to do this is go get all of those colors. Now, this is not all of them because I've already started using them, but I sort of fell in love with it. And so, I mean, even just looking at the paper colors, isn't that just amazing? So what I did is I pulled out 1 sheet of every one of these papers, and then I cut it in half. So this would be an 8.5 by 11. I cut it at 5.5 on the 11-inch side, and then I had 2 card bases. So let me show you the cards that I then made. Okay, I've got this a little bit backwards. Okay, this was the first one. Now, I'm going to show you the measurements here in just a minute, but this one is your typical average everyday card, and this is just a piece of that designer series paper cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, that's all it is. However, I don't want you to do that at first, because what I did with this is I used this as a cutoff from one of these sets that we did. And then I just used the cutoff and put it on the front of this card base. Okay, so again, I had cut my 8.5 by 11 in half at 5.5 and then fold it, and I simply put my designer series paper on it. Okay, what do you mean, Patricia? I took one of these pictures. I cut first I cut 3/4 of an inch off, I believe. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch off. Remember, this is 6 by 6. So I cut off the bottom, or top, either one, which, you know, like you might want to cut off the bottom on these two. You might want to cut off, the bottom. Anyway, it doesn't really matter whether you cut the bottom or the top, or you could cut a bit off the top and a bit off the bottom, whatever floats your boater. But you want it to be 5.25 inches, okay? So the first thing I did is I took one of these, I cut it to 5.25, okay? Then this way I cut it in 2-inch strips, all right? I needed 2 of these to make 4 strips. And what I ended up with was this. I have my 4 strips, and let me see if I can go ahead and find this one, because it'll make more sense what I did. Hold on one sec. Let me pull it out. No, that's not it. All right, hold on. Find it really easily by looking at the back of these. Oh, except I can't look at those because I just used it. So it's in the set that I just opened up. What did I do with them? Here they are. All right, hold on. This will make sense, I promise. Which was, okay, that one. Here it is. All right, so I took 2 of these. Okay, this is the one that I used. I cut off 3/4 of an inch at the bottom, and then I cut 3 strips here and a 4th one here, because I used the front of this on the front of the card. Let me move it so you can see it. So there's the front of the card. Then opened it up, and I turned this over and put that on there. And I needed 4 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are 2 inches wide. Okay. And then I put my, this piece, which is 4 by 5.25 on the inside. Okay. So let me show you. That's the only one that I did using this, using the same paper. So you can see that's the same paper. It almost, let me move this. It almost doesn't even look like the same paper, just because of the card base that you have, and then with the strip cut out, or not the strip cut in the middle, but you can see the card base in the middle. Okay, so this one, again, it's 5.5 by 8.5, folded in the middle at 4.25, and then the front is that cut off piece. Sorry, I dropped to the directions. Let me put this up here. So if you want to make, a screenshot, there you go. Okay. So 5.5 by 8.5, score at 4.25. The designer series paper is 4 by 5.25. Okay. I did not put sentiments on some of these. I did this one so you could see the entire thing. And I used an outside sentiment and an inside sentiment, okay? And I'll show you that card set here, or that stamp set, in just a minute. So this one is 5.5 by 8.5 again. So this is the same size, okay, as my card base. And then I scored it at 2 1/8 on either side. Now, I want to show you something on doing that. So here's my score, or my, where's my card base? Okay, so this is my 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to score it at 2 1/8. So I put it in here at 2 1/8. Be sure it's straight up here against the top. And then I'm going to score it. Okay, so I've scored it. There's my score line. And I'm going to fold it in. I want to use my... Sorry guys, I lost my little... Here it is. Lost my thing here. So I'm going to pull out my my bone folder, and I'm going to give that a nice crease. Now, I could, so remember, score it at 2 1/8. I could turn this around and score it 2 1/8 again. Or I can take this and line it up right there, exactly against each other, and score it. Okay, that is the same as turning it around and scoring it 2 1/8. I hope that's making sense. Then I put my white in here, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So it'll have just that little border. And then I put my 2-inch strips inside and front. So that's what I have here. Then I used this punch, okay, and stamped my sentiment. Okay, so that's another one. Let me pull out the next one. I think I gave you all the measurements on that. So we're good on that one. This one, again, I don't have a sentiment on here. I also did not put a white piece of cardstock here. I could, but it is a light enough color that I don't really need to, okay? It's up to you, but again, it's 8.5 by 5.5, or 5.5 by 8.5, and then score it at 4 1/4, and then cut an inch off, okay? When you cut an inch off, then you have your designer series paper, which is 3 by 5 1/4, okay? And then use the rest of that strip on the inside. You could cut it down to 1/2 by 5 1/4, or use as much of it as you want to, okay? So what I mean by that is I take, let's say this is the one I'm going to use. I cut my 3 inches off here. Then I can use as much as I want of the rest of that. Now, I wouldn't suggest, so it's 3 inches, so I wouldn't suggest the whole 3 inches here, but 1.5 to 2 inches there is perfect. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, you want to have at least 1 inch here because you've cut 1 inch off of the bottom of this. All right, so there's that one. This one is kind of fun because it's a little bit of a fun fold. Okay, so and it sits up, which is kind of fun. People can put it on their mantle very easily. So this one, the measurements, again, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and scored this at 2 1/8. So let me show you that one. Let me pull out another card base. So I've got this, and I'm going to score it. So my now, to be on, I'm not even going to use my scoreboard, my taper trimmer. I'm going to show you how I really do this. You can, of course, use your paper trimmer. So I match up my corners exactly, and then give that a nice crease and burnish that. Then, and if you look at this, see how there you've got a little bit of a mountain and a valley? I just simply fold this back on the card and match up those corners very nicely. Then give it another crease. And now I have my card base. Then all I've done, the same thing we did before. I cut that 3/4 of an inch off so that this is 5 1/4. cut these in 2-inch strips. I also cut a 2-inch strip of my white. Now, the thing I like about this is my sentiment shows on the outside and when I have it open. Okay. Whoops, am I showing you the wrong one? I am. I'm showing you the wrong one. Too funny. Okay. Same thing, though. Okay, I wondered why I got... So, see these two? They're the same. The only thing on this one, this was the one I started showing you at first, is I did put another piece of cardstock behind my DSP Designer Series paper because it's hanging out over this. Okay, it's hanging out over that fold. This one is not. It just simply is that mountain and valley fold. Okay, so they're the same base card. It's just that this one has another piece of DSP on the front. So this DSP, this one, is... I forgot to, oh no, I forgot to write the measurement for this one. This DSP is, let me see if I have my tape, my ruler, and I'll just measure it. I managed not to write that down, but I believe it is, yeah, 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, and the cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, by 5 1/4. Then I have my sentiment. Now, if I were making these, which is what I did, I took a bunch of these two different punches, and they're both new. Okay, this one is the modern oval, and this one is heartfelt something, hexagon. Okay, so I took these two, I made several sentiments like this one, and where did the other one go? Here we go. This one, I made those, just several of them. And I used some of the colors that I had done in the cardstock that I chose. Remember, the cardstock was from the colors list on the back. All right. I think I've gotten everything. I did this one. Oh, this one is exactly the same, except I did not put the cardstock in front. I made this one that is the same width and 5 1/4, 2 inches by 5 1/4. All three of these are 2 inches by 5 1/4, and I put it on there. Now, what I started to say about this one is you could put this white one right here, or even here, depending on what your picture looked like. For example, let's say I was doing this one, and I put this third over here on the left. I put these two, again, cut 2 by 2, right here and here, and my white one here, because then it's sort of hidden. Okay? Whatever works for you. This is, though, I have to say, an awesome set of Designer Series papers. And that's 5 cards. Very easily done. I did all 5 of these in probably, well, if you consider pulling out all the papers, probably, it might have been an hour. It might have been an hour. But you remember this set too? This one is all about autumn, and I do believe it's back in stock. Could do exactly the same thing on some of these. Just amazing. Let me see. This one? Love that. You could do some of the same things. Fantastic done in any one of these designs. Anyway, there are, oh, I had another one here too. Which one was that? Oh, this one. This is the One Horse Open Sleigh. And it has some, oh, I've got that one turned around. This one could do the same thing. I love that fox one. This one, isn't that gorgeous? In the shadows of the trees. Oh, just so beautiful. there. I mean, there's some really, oh, this one's great too, with the little deer. So any one of these 3 sets of designer series paper, the 6x6, would make some beautiful cards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all of this out here so you can see it. So another thing I did, I went through and got all of the colors of the cardstock I used, and I got those stamp sets as well. So let me put these out here so you can see it. Ta-da! Should I take those off maybe and put them beside it? Something like this, maybe. There. And there. Can you see all of those? Oh, you can't see this one. Here, we'll pull it here. Oh, you still can't see it. Ah, too funny. Oh, well, somewhere in there. Okay, so now you might be thinking, what would you do with all of these strips? Oh my goodness, look at this. You could lay them like with maybe that, or a solid in between and do strips. Have you seen that done before? You might want to cut that one in half. Here's some strips. I don't know, something like that. I'll show you a card when I do that next, because I do want to do that. All right, so let me show you a couple of other things real quick. Get some things out of the way. There we go. And these are new stamp sets that are coming out soon. This one is the Garden Meadow and the stamp set that goes with it. Gorgeous. The gate and the wheelbarrow and the watering can. This looks like fireweed to me. Hello, the little birds, the boots. Love that set. This one, Fluffiest Friends. How adorable. Now, when I first saw this, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not quite sure. But it is fantastic. Ah, come on, open up. Here are the dies. Look at this. It's got, let's see, where'd the bee go? There's a bee in here. Where's the bee? Here is the horn, or the nest. Where's the bee? Thought there was a bee in here. I'm wrong. There's a branch, some ornaments. I could have sworn there was a bee in here. That's not a bee. Chick. Oh, well, the honey that he's getting from the... That is just too funny. I really thought there was a bee in there. Okay, here we go. Hello, there it is. Be My Valentine has the bee in it. And the punch that comes with it. This is the Bee Builder Punch. You got your bee. These are your wings. Check out this. This or this, the solid or the lines, are where you stamp your heart or your wings. And then this is your little nose on your bee. Here's face, and there's the antenna, little faces, several of them, more hearts. Your bee is buzzing, and you can follow along. Love you, you make my heart buzz. Happy Valentine's, I love you no matter what. Be mine, you're sweet as honey. How sweet. And then a little bit of honeycomb. Okay, so these are the newest things that are coming out. I believe they're on the, is it the 7th or the 9th of November? But regardless, they will be coming out soon. Here, let me move those over so you can actually see all of them. These are part of the online exclusives. The only way to see these, they are not in any catalog, is to go, let me move that, is to go online, stampinwithpatricia.com, stampinwithpatricia.stampinup.net, or the Facebook page. I'll always have the link on the Facebook page as well, which is Stampin' with Patricia, by the way, with a lowercase w, because I already have Stampin' with Patricia on Facebook as well. Can you believe it? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned some things. I would love to see these cards if you make them up. So remember, pull out the paper, pull out your cardstock, then match it to a color, and then you could create your sentiments in whatever designs, shapes that you either want to die cut or punch out. The sentiments that I used, by the way, were from Inspired Thoughts and Timeless Arrangements. I may have used some others from some of these, but maybe not. Okay, I love this thinking of you. I can't imagine having a better friend. Every day is a fresh start. And I already read that one. Funniest friends does not have any sentiments. Okay. All right. All my best. Have a great week. And hopefully I'll have another video for you on Friday or Saturday. And I just see the plane landed here in the village, so that's always a lot of fun. Have a good one. Don't forget to let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if I didn't make something clear, blah, blah, blah. You get it. All right, have a good one.